Hello, how are we doing, boys and girls? Good to see you all. This is my second time on today, if you didn't know. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Aaron Thomas, love the intro music. And then you go on to say Sverige, and then you say some other nonsense I don't understand. Are you here to be a bellend? Let me know just so I can quickly ban you if so. Or perhaps you're not and you're just a bit weird. Staines in the house, here for the banger music. Squad, Dan and the Hizzy. Aled was thinking there was no stream today. There's already been one stream today, and we don't normally have a Tuesday night stream. So you're doubly lucky. It's become a daily routine of mine. Well, that's good to know. We're glad to be of service. Adam Hawkins in the Hizzy, how are you? Andre is here. Good old Andre. Do subscribe to Doodle Machine if you like your drawings and that. He's great stuff, and he's a great guy. Psychovism, do any of you guys work on handstands? No, they do not. Slack to vegan in the house. I don't know who O'Doyle is. George Murray, drum and bass. Love it. Andre, air popcorn, what say you? Delicious, however, full of acrylamides, which are a potential carcinogen, although apparently the evidence is getting weaker and we're starting to think it may not be carcinogenic, but until they know for sure, like, yeah, class 2A carcinogen, probable, so they're claiming. You know, low calorie, you can make it delicious. You know, we got a few recipes, like we eat it on like a rare occasion, but for now I wouldn't like go overboard on it. I wouldn't be eating it by the bucketful just until we know for sure. George Murray, was you a raving chin wagger? Yes, I did used to partake of a lot of substances that would make my chin wag at a rate of knots. Aaron, no, of course not vegan. What are you doing here then? Nutritionists, hey, good to see you as well. Johnny Mayan in the house. Good to see you, brother. Jacob, have you ever tried living raw vegan? The first 2 years of my veganism, I was raw, other than like 2 scoops of like a protein powder, because obviously being a bodybuilder, I felt like I needed more protein than is available from fruit, which is about 5% protein on average. I mean, that's only one way of doing it. It was high fruit and some like salad stuff. A small amount of fat. I was eating like probably like 80-10-10. Well, maybe not 10% protein, but you know, no more than 10% of calories from fat, and you know, mostly carbohydrate. I always had a bit of gut dysbiosis. I was a lot healthier than when I was eating omnivorously, but yeah, I always had a bit of dysbiosis. I always had like bloating and like a bit of gas, and yeah, I didn't ever feel quite right. And then on the set of the Game Changers movie, the producers were telling me, you know, they were talking to biological anthropologists, and like the general consensus among the experts is that we have evolved into like starchivores, was the phrase they used. I don't think that's probably quite the correct phrase, but they were saying like this sort of changes to dentition, the fact that we've upgraded our amylase like several times, like we've had several evolutionary jumps, and we now produce far more amylase than the hundreds of other primate species. So Stomanas, welcome to the Herbivore Army, soldier. Thank you for joining. That is really, really kind. I think the bugle's going to go off any second. We normally get a bugle, unless Streamlabs has gone rubbish. I'll probably stop waiting for it and try to carry on, and then that'll fire up and be really loud and annoying. Starmenace, I don't recognise you. I don't believe you've chatted before, unless I just don't, you know, I suppose I can't remember everyone. Who are you? Where are you? How's the vegan scene? Maybe you're... See what I mean? Maybe you're more of an introvert and you're not very chatty, which is fine. But if you would like to... If you would like to introduce yourself, feel free. Oh, you're new. Well, how come you're joining up if you're new? You can just tell that I'm good stuff. Oh, you're very kind. Where in the world are you? How's the vegan scene? And how are you doing, Star Menace? And I really, really appreciate you. Right. Apple G. I may have not pronounced that properly. Hello, good evening. Greetings from the Netherlands. Hello, my friends. How are you? How's the vegan scene there? And welcome. Are you Are you a person of vegan persuasionage? If so, how long have you been vegan? Or are you just having a little look-see? Or have you come here to be cruel to us skinny, long-haired hippies? Let us know. Jason, I'm desperate. I wouldn't trust any other nutritionist, personal trainer, or play anything. Help me, Paul. Bless your heart. You're really tugging at my heartstrings there. You're really tugging at my heartstrings. Hang on, sorry, I missed Andre out. Blinking heck. Cereal, Cheerios specifically. What say you? Acrylamides again. Acrylamides. And like a bit of sugar in there, is there? Like salt, that sort of thing. Artificial vitamins. Not a fan. Not a fan. And I guess it's been like Cheerios. Are they kind of made from flour, do you think? I'm not sure. I imagine they're sort of flour. So they're going to be quite high GI, I would have thought. I prefer like whole intact grains where possible. Particularly not like flours. Great questions though. Keep them coming. Yeah, Jason, well, you probably know my story, but I stopped being a nutritionist and PT to concentrate on the social media thing, which brings me a lot more joy. So, I mean, never say never. If someone offered me like £1 million, you know, I would probably write them a nutrition and workout plan, like quite gladly. But I just don't want to take away from time from doing what I love, really. So, it's probably a no, unless you are super rich and can offer me a yacht or something. I'll tell you who's really good, Jason, honestly, is lovely guy, Come On Brain on Instagram. Why am I blanking? Corinne Sutton, KORIN SUTTON, at Corinne Sutton, vegan bodybuilder, former US Marine. He went vegan after doing a tour of duty in Iraq and seeing the worst of what we can do to each other. That turned him vegan. He just saw how violence is just so abhorrent and like wrong. And he went vegan. He's an amazing guy and he's a very good coach. Very, very good. You may have seen him in Veganville with Joey Carbstrong. Yeah, at Corinne Sutton. He is very good. And he will charge you a little less than £1 million a second. Thanks for the kind words, though. You're really nice. Mike Booker. Hello, Hench. Hope you're all right. Should I avoid starchy carbs while trying to lose weight? No, get them in ya. Avoid refined carbs like sugar and white flour. I'm eating potatoes and some people advise me. Those people are bellends. Potatoes are one of the most satiating things you can eat. We should be eating high carb, specifically high starch. And some like fruits as well, like whole fruits. No, get them in here. I got my leanest ever eating tons of potatoes. It's, you know, it's calories in, calories out. And the majority of our calories should come from complex carbs. That's what fuels us best. You know, it tends to come with the most nutrition. Smash it in, my friend. Smash it in. Timmy Thistle, do you like couscous? Yes, I do like couscous. I'm not sure that it's the best grain. It's quite sort of refined, is it? But it's it's very nice. Sneakily calorific, as Dan says. Andre, Vegetable Police finished his 90-day juice fast. He's finally eating food again. What a weirdo. So now he's killed off all his good gut microbes. If he had any left, they're probably all Bacteroides strains. Yeah, it's a real shame how he went. I used to get on well with Casey, and it's a shame to see someone so confused. Vortex, is gaslighting real? Yeah. It's just BSing someone to make them think that they've gone crackers, basically. My son asked, and I don't know what to say to him. Yeah. It's just making like other people think that they're misremembering things and they're like confused and they got it wrong and like they're the bad person sort of thing. Gem would know more than me, but I think she's asleep. Select vegan. Henchy, are you on Reddit? Those knobs and the anti-vegan sub are trying to body shame you. Well, if they look half as good at me as me at age 50, I'll be surprised. So I really couldn't care less. Andre, my daughter is on all antibiotics for an infection. I know they're terrible for the gut microbiome. Any good foods to focus on for recovery other than, smashing the whole plant foods. I mean, some amount of fermented foods may be of benefit. You don't want to go overboard with them. Just like a little amount before each meal, perhaps. But just the whole plant foods in general. You've got it. I hope she soon recovers, bless her. Jacob, thank you. Have you heard of Paradigm Lou Corona? No. Tell me about that. Michael Priz, hello brother. I always love to see you on YouTube. Thank you. I have a question. Can you make a response video on Totally Pointless TV? He got 105,000 subs as an anti-vegan talking too much nonsense. I've got a feeling I may have seen this. Let's have a look, see. 5 days ago, vegan intensity gone too far. Yeah, I'll give that a look. I'll give that a look after the stream and see what I think. Starminus got to you from Vegan Gains, actually. Well, that does surprise me. He's usually not so complimentary these days because I didn't do his bidding. But yeah, I'm like that. I have my own mind and I do what I want. Adappled. Yeah, it means little potato. Oh, your name? That's very cool. I wish I knew how to pronounce it. Zerelli, a lot of your video scripted. Hench Herbivore said you have a team of scriptwriters behind you. Please don't tell me shit that people are saying about me because it just gets on my fucking tits. Little Apple, I'm doing good thing. Sorry about that outburst. Why do you keep listening to Sverige? Is it the biggest bell end available? People. Are you like a double agent for him or something here to like annoy me? I'm doing good, thank you, mate. I have been vegan for a few months now. Nice. Helena Jensen is in the house with some lovely emoji. That was a good good selection of emojis there. They're delightful. Thank you very much. Starminas from somewhere in the Middle East. Vegan scene is pretty good, although I don't personally know any vegans besides myself around. Wow, but there are some. That must be hard. I was very lucky in Norwich, where I live with my partner Gemma. It's the most vegan city in the UK, apparently. Very, very lucky. Bless your heart. Well done for finding veganism and being brave enough to just go for it on your own. That's huge. Respect. Massive respect to you. Lolly V in the house. Good to see you. Cheerios, Andre, Cheerios are whole grain oat based. They're not as processed as most cereals. Okay, well, I'm interested. They do seem nice. I have eaten them in the past. Hang on, aren't they multi Cheerios, or is there just? So I know multi Cheerios, but perhaps in Canada, like that's not the main one, is it? Then perhaps, yeah. They've always been sort of marketed as multi Cheerios over here. I think they're like 4 different grains. Adam, I'm staying in Spain, Gibraltar at the moment, across the border daily. I do it on the daily. Got 1 or 2 vegan options in Gibraltar, but not as much as the UK. Very few options in Spain. That sucks. I hope you're managing, my friend. Flavius, hello, fellow mellow herbivore. How are you doing? I'm fantastic, thank you, my friend. I'm hanging out with all my mates on the tubes, and thanks for also joining us. Stacey, she's in the house. As you just heard, I'm very good. How's everyone else doing? How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Andre, I agree. Veg Police is a bit of a bell end with the things he believes and tries, but glad he's finally on the ethical food. Oh, he's eating vegan again, is he? Right. He should work with Goji, man, and just get his gut looked at, diagnose all the crazy shit that's going on in there now, thanks to all the messed up stuff he's been doing, get it treated, and be able to eat the healthiest foods in the world, which is, of course, whole plant foods. Flavius, random question. Would there be any detriments of eating textured soy protein, TVP? Yeah, it's not... whole foods are best for health. You get the fibre, you get, tons of vitamins and minerals and other nutrients, polyphenols. With TVP, it's very refined. It's just the protein. So there's some potential risk of like a high protein diet, even if it's plant-based, that it's not so helpful for the body. I don't know how good the science is, but certainly kidney disease is on the rise. It's like the fastest growing disease, and it's because of the amount of extra protein we now eat, which like most of us don't need. I think there's maybe some benefit to plant over animal, but I think still if you're eating tons of plant protein, it's probably not the best from what I understand of the science. For me, so I eat a predominantly whole foods plant-based diet. I have a couple of servings of a more processed protein food, and I would eat something like TVP once or twice a day. However, I'm conscious that it's not optimal. It's just useful for me as a bodybuilder, to get like a higher percentage of protein in the diet without adding in extra calories from like fats and carbohydrates. So yeah, certainly not optimal. If you can, I would stick to whole plant foods, legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices as they come from nature, unadulterated. Timmy Thistle, someone asked me, how do I get my carbs as a vegan? Bloody hell. Michael Askew in the hizzy. I'm noticing a theme here. Andre, nutritional yeast, what say you? Great. As far as I know, blinking great. I've had some people talking down on it and saying that Dr. Gregor said it was MSG and it's really bad, but I've not seen him say anything negative. It's yeast, isn't it? It's a single-celled fungi, 50% protein by weight, which, may not be great if you're doing bucketfuls of it. But, loads of B vitamins. No naturally occurring B12, despite what some people say. I love it. It's got that those beta glucans, so that really sexy type of fibre that boosts the immune system. So I know Nutrition Facts did a video and they said where athletes were using nutritional yeast, they had half the instances of upper respiratory tract infections after like hard races. It seems to be very good. Timmy Thistle, is pink salt okay? What's your thoughts on salt? Apparently horrible. I use a little bit, not a whole lot now. I've cut it right down. Just use a little bit because I've found if I have none that I tend to cramp when I'm training hard, particularly in the summer when I'm sweating a lot. But other than that, I wouldn't be adding it in. Again, just to quote Nutrition Facts, this is where I'll get most of my advice from. They say 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. Well, if you're eating a nutritious whole foods plant-based diet, you may get near that just in your food. So there's not much room for more. And, you're raising your risk for stomach cancer. You're raising your blood pressure. You blunt your expression of antioxidant superoxide dismutase at the very time when you want it peaking, which is when foods like particles are hitting the bloodstream. It actually like blunts it, and so you're not getting such good protection from your real powerful antioxidant. So for many reasons, Dr. Gregor again says that cutting down on salt is likely the number one thing most people can do to lengthen their lifespan and their health span. That more so than like stopping eating animals. Cassie, hello everyone. Finally worked up the courage to end my 4.5 year long relationship last night. Wow, how are you, lovely? I hope you're okay. I'm done being unhappy because it's comfortable. Yeah, good for you. Thankful to spend some time with you all today. Let's send Cassie some love, please, everyone. I know, like, you know, it's on your terms and it's for the best. But it's always painful, isn't it, in one way or another? Well, probably loads of ways. So, yeah, let's send Cassie some love, please, everyone. Flavius, it feels lonely down here as well. I live in a small town in Spain, but I have one vegan friend. Oh, well, that's something. JB001, I had Paradroid. I had it. I'd sort of forgotten all about it. I had that game. I did a right deep dive on like old games and whatnot. Very interesting. Yep. Well said, Michael. Andre, Molly Cheerios actually less healthy than the regular version. They're frosted. Okay, so that's the version I was like aware of. So that makes sense. Good to know. Manos in the house. Woohoo, best company. Hello, fellow vegan friends. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Mantis is in the house. Roki is also here. Fabulous here in the forest fire smoke. You got a forest fire going on. That doesn't sound very good, bless you. Okay. Just looking for questiones. Flavius. What are we talking about? I've forgotten. Right, I'm not sure what you're on about. Sorry. Oh, the TVP. You know, on the scale of things, it's going to be a lot better than eating like dead animals, isn't it? So there is that. 50 grams of protein and 20 grams of carbs. Yeah, that's huge, isn't it? Nostalgic Vegan, can you check out my video of me roasting storages, what I eat in the day? Not really, because just simply, I don't really have a lot of spare time. I don't know, I'll try and have a quick look if I get a second later on. Nostalgic Vegan. Yep. There's your channel. Oh, you're more of a gamer, are you? Okay, yeah, if I get a spare second, I will try and have a quick look-see. Check out Nostalgic Vegan, everyone, if you want to. Andre, speaking of MSG, what say you? I believe it's meant to be well horrible, isn't it? That's my understanding. I noticed that I got fed some once and I had a horrible headache and stomach ache. Really horrible. Scott Rogers, how do I get more protein avoiding tofu but trying to keep the carbs low as a vegan food is high carb? Eat as whole foods plant-based as you can, but do include things like a couple of servings of tofu, TVP, which we were talking about earlier, protein powders. Yeah, it's not so difficult. Seitan is very good as well. Alexandru, suggestions for a 3,000 calorie diet with just discovered sliding hiatal hernia, lots of small meals. I wouldn't recommend lots of small meals for the fact that you can develop SIBO. I've got a feeling that may have been my problem a couple of years back, so I was eating so regularly, and the gut microbes can do with a rest. But yeah, if you've got a hernia going on, like, it might be a necessary evil. So I think you've got to use your own, I think you've got to be your own authority there and sort of approach that how you think is best. That sucks. Yeah, I have a periumbilical hernia. I've had it for years. I'm not too lazy to get it done, but it means I'll be out of the gym, and like, I just don't want to not be training. It's a bit naughty. Moo the vegan is in the house. Hello to you. Napkin Prince, are you familiar with the snake diet? Yes, the concept of eating once per day, isn't it? Which you're going to have to eat some junk food to be able, or like animal products to get enough calories in. So that's ridiculous. Thoughts on fasting? Intermittent fasting is great. There's no benefits apparently metabolically to weight loss, but there's some adherence benefits for some people. And there's definitely health benefits. I now fast for 11 to 12 hours a day. If it wasn't for the fact that I was eating whole plant foods, I'd probably go a little longer as well. There's the old hormesis thing where, you know, when you're not just overburdening your system with calories and proteins and things, like your body kind of turns inwards and goes into like repair mode, and you can undo like potential cancers and stuff. So yeah, really good for health. Long-term fasting is stupid, unless you're super sick and it's like recommended and you're medically supervised. You know, you're killing off your good gut microbes by not putting fibre in. It's a really stupid idea. Particularly for people who want to lose weight as well. It just sets your body up to revolt, and yeah, that never ends anywhere good. Natalie, how much salt is okay to eat, or what can we replace it with? I love the flavour of salt. It makes really plain meals palatable. I know what you mean, but just by slowly backing down on it, using lots of herbs and spices, that's what I've done recently. I use very little salt now, and I actually like my food just as much. It just takes a little while. So for optimal health, Nutrition Facts recommend 1,500 milligrams of sodium a day. Again, if you're eating whole plant foods, if you eat much in the way of greens, particularly celery, you're probably getting, you know, a good percentage of that. I possibly would get all of it just in my diet, but because I'm a bit bigger, I do add a little pink Himalayan salt in. Not that that's like magic and healthful, because it's not, but it's just got a few more different minerals. But I find I cramp if I don't have any at all, because I train so hard and sweat a lot in the summer. Yeah, there's not much else to do really. I mean, there's things like Bragg's liquid aminos, coconut aminos. I think these add, oh mind you, I think they do have sodium in though. I'm not sure. Can someone advise? I've never used them. You're welcome, Cassie, bless you. Louise J, hi Hench, what do you think of using beetroot juice pre-workout? I love it. I've gone through a lot of phases of using that. Yeah, 2 or 3 hours pre-workout. The optimal dose was found to be about 140 millilitres for most athletes. 2 to 3 hours pre-workout or pre-competition. Very good. Vasodilator. So like improved blood flow, bigger pump, more energy, like more stamina, really benefits to endurance. I found I would power through my workouts like a lot better, and my veins would be standing out and people would be like throwing up, and I'd think, oh, I thought this would be good. Greg Feeney. Hi, Hench. What's your number one tip for those who are transitioning to veganism? Oh, I don't know really. Get educated. Get educated. Learn about like the morals and the environment and the health. You know, watch a few documentaries on each. Check out nutritionfacts.org. Check out Game Changers. Yeah, just knowledge is important because, you know, there's a lot of detractors and naysayers, and they will put doubt in your mind because they don't want you to change, because it means that they need to change. Because if not, if you're doing all right and they don't change, it means that they're an animal abuser 3 times a day at meal times. So they have to make you wrong. So they'll really try to put you off it. So arm yourself with knowledge, so you know what you're doing, you know why, you know where do you get your protein for when people have questions and criticisms. I think that would be my top bit of advice. And maybe get yourself a little community. You can join the Hench Herbivore community over on Facebook. We've got a new community up for people. JB, reference Commodore 64. Excellent. You might like the latest video on the channel. Kim Justice will bring you back those retro memories. Kim Justice. Okay, we'll give that a look as well. Oh God, I've got the hiccups. That one was banana flavoured. Kim Justice. Looks good. Right, yeah, we'll give that a look. Thank you very much. Cassie is quite smoky here in Kamloops, British Columbia today, surrounded by forest fires. I know. Yuck. Timmy Thistle, have you met Simnet Nutrition in real life? Yeah, a few times. We're both Vivo Life ambassadors, so we've hung out at Veg Fest events on the Vivo Life stall together. We've been featured in each other's videos like a couple of times at these sort of events. Lovely guy. His Mrs. Crystal is really nice too. Lovely couple. Andre, you don't have a Whole Foods plant-based protein bar suggestion. What about healthy-ish non-Whole Foods protein bar? Bars easy to grab on the go. Surprised your protein book didn't have one. Yeah, that's just so difficult. The main thing to do is really put a bit of protein powder in, but they get really chalky, like really quick. Yeah, I don't really have any suggestions, I don't think. Not that would be high protein and lower like fats or carbs. Maybe if you could source some soy crunchies. I did get sent a load of prototype soy crunchies before. Yeah, and you could whack those in. Yeah, that, you know, potentially that might give you your sort of base, I suppose. Where the hell was I? Am I miles behind? Mantis, how often do you soak dry beans as opposed to use canned beans? Virtually never. I'm too lazy. Timmy, how lean is too lean causing bad health? I think like sub about 10% for a guy is difficult to maintain. Certainly sub 5% would probably lead you to issues. And then for a female, it's probably, I don't know, about another 5% or so. Don't quote me. I don't really know, but that would be my guess. I imagine that's a pretty educated guess. Stain. Hey Paul, rate my stir-fried dinner. Number one, was it a stir-fry or a steam fry? Because that will have a huge bearing. Brown rice, pretty good. I mean, you have got the potential arsenic thing, lowering the 10% benefit to all-cause mortality risk per 3 servings of whole grains per day. But that's not to say I don't eat it on occasion, because I do. So don't take that too much to heart. Quinoa, great. Lentils, great. Most antioxidant rich. Legume, quinoa, like, although, you know, it's a pseudo grain, but we eat it as a grain, but very nutritious, high in protein. Carrots for the carotenoids. Eggplant, you got some of those lovely, what are they called? Anthocyanins. Onion. What colour was the onion? Because that'll have a bearing as well. If it was a red onion, I'll give you full marks. If it was a yellow or green onion, I'll give you so 5 for red, 3 for green or yellow, or 1 for white, because they are the least antioxidant rich. Dates in a stir fry. I guess that might work. I've never tried it. Yeah, so very nutritious. Mustard, very good. It's got some turmeric in there. It's a cruciferous plant, so you got the sulforaphane benefits. Flax seeds, if they were ground, you got, which I guess you probably know to do, you got your omega-3s, your lignans, and the omega-3 in seeds is not destroyed by cooking, unlike if you're using an oil. I would give that 9.5 out of 10, Stain. 9.5. I'm not an easy man to please. Let's just see if you said anything else. Oh, red onions. Okay, 9.7. Yeah, I think that's it. Well done, Stain. Well done. Well, not quite top marks, but bloody near enough. 2 gold stars. The top is 3 gold stars. 2 gold stars and the red star. Timmy Thistle, how many meals a day do you eat? I eat 3 now. I like to live at least like a 4-hour gap between, which apparently is a benefit to the gut microbiome, and you're less likely to develop SIBO, which I have developed SIBO from I believe now putting too much food in like too regularly. Edward Hulse, what's your view on organic labelled foods? Are they really any better? I think by and large they are meant to be quite a bit better, but organic doesn't necessarily mean like no pesticides. But by and large they will be a lot better. Scott, I once did a 7 days water fast. I felt clean and fresh. Hashtag autophagy. I did a 7-day water fast. I felt like death after day 3. I couldn't even lift my head up. Starmanas, damn, this all makes me realise how freaking unhealthy I am. I'm eating. Honestly, I think if people really understood their health potential and like the detriments of animal products, of refined sugar, like refined oils, particularly like coconut oil, I think that most people would eat whole plant foods. But we don't realise how powerful it is. Like it's not made terribly obvious unless you follow people like the plant-based doctors and like nutrition facts. Sadly, there's multi-billion-dollar industries that stand to profit from our ignorance, and that's why, by and large, the general population is not aware. 75% or thereabouts of the reason people die in the West, from my understanding, is what we put in our gobs. 3/4 of the reason most people die is because of our food choices. Think of that next time you want, like, go to open a big bag of crisps or potato chips, whatever you call them, or a donut, or drink a beer. You know, I know it's nice in the moment, but it's years off your life potentially, and this horrible disease towards the end of life. You can be, you know, you can like drag out your life with like medications and stuff, making you feel even more horrible, but you're not living. You know, we live less functional years now. We live more years in total, but we're living less and less years of health. And who wants to end up their final few years, you know, as an invalid again, like as a child, unable to look after ourselves for like whatever reason? like being a burden on our friends and family if they're still around. Like, it's no way to live. So I implore you, Staramas, to look after your health. I love you, man, and I want you to be well. Manos, instead of salt, I use miso or soya sauce. So soy sauce is very salty anyway, isn't it? So I don't think that that's probably an improvement. Miso, supposedly, I don't know about it because it's fermented and there's benefits. According to the data, like, you can use it and get away with it. But I'm suspicious. I'm thinking, if I'm eating like so much whole plant foods, like, why have I not already got that protection? I'm sure like this little bit of fermented like soy or rice or whatever it is, excuse me, in the miso, like, is that really like that huge of a benefit? I'm not saying it's not, but I'm suspicious. I'm a bit skeptical, and I really would like someone to go over the data with me with a fine-toothed comb. Karen, thank you for everything. Paul, would you consider starting up a dating site for vegans? Oh, I have no friends or family who are vegan. Sometimes this is only... I can imagine. I'm sorry to hear that. There are vegan dating sites. There are. My friend Karen Ridges, lovely lady. She's a sort of talent agent. Or she was my PR lady, and she runs Veggie Vision TV. It's a website, and they have dating on there. There's also Grazer. Is it Grazr? Grazer app. Aaron, what percentage of meat is factory farmed in the US? That's not really my wheelhouse. The odd environmental stuff. Off the top of my head, though, I believe it might be 95%. You might want to look on somewhere like Cowspiracy website at their they have like infographics and like just like general information on there. There's like a button for it all, like stats and whatnot. Scott Rogers, do you eat tofu daily? Probably about 3 times a week on average. I don't really like stress too much about it. I just eat it if it's there and I fancy it. It's better to eat the whole legumes. It's healthier, but on the scale of things, if you're eating at least predominantly whole plant foods and you're just having that on occasion, I don't think it's going to do too much harm really. It's just not as nutritious as what you're displacing. Like a lot less fiber, about half the minerals I think. High in protein, they're good for a bodybuilder. I certainly don't think there's detriments to eating a bit of soy. Amanda Williams in the house. Hi to you. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. Edward, how do you find balance on your views with friends and family that don't just have the same level of passion for veganism, as I'm sure it can cause a lot of friction? I just don't really hang out with them. That's the simple answer. I'm not drawn to hang out with like non-vegans, to be honest. I just don't really tend to hang out with them. Luca, how much B12 do you need to take? For under 65s, you need at least, I think it's 50 micrograms per day. It's not very, you only need about 2.6 micrograms total to absorb, but it's not very bioavailable. And so you need to take in like a larger amount. So I think daily it's like 50 micrograms plus. Or you can go weekly and then go for like 2,500 in one like bolus dose. That's how I do it. I take my B12 on a Saturday. If you're over age 65, you need to take 1,000 micrograms daily. That's because by that age we lose this intrinsic factor which makes the B12 more bioavailable. So I hope that helps. Napkin Prince, would eating jellyfish be considered vegan? No, they don't have a brain and also do not feel pain. It's just exploiting or causing cruelty to an animal. And like in terms of diet, it's the non-eating of animals. So it wouldn't be vegan by definition. You couldn't call yourself vegan. Cal, bit of an embarrassing one. How do you reduce being gassy in the gym? Let rip before you go in there. Exercise with a lot of core activation causes me a lot of problems. Is there anything I do to depressurize? Thanks. Yeah, I don't really know. When I first went vegan, I did have that sort of issue, and I don't know that there's a whole lot you can really do. I mean, you can use sort of digestive enzymes and stuff. Wash like your beans and things well before you cook and get the odd hemicellulose off. But normally when you first eat a lot of whole plant foods, normally you get excessively gassy. After time it should pass. And if it doesn't, likely you've got some gut dysbiosis that needs like a gut issue that needs diagnosing and treating. So if it goes on too long, you might want to look at it. But it's certainly natural for it to be like that for a few weeks. I've not got a lot of advice. I've heard that there's a supplement called Beano. I don't know if you use it to... Not sure exactly what you do with it, but I think that's meant to help. Beano. I've not really looked at it though. Sorry. Timmy Thistle, do you like cinnamon? Yes, I do. It's delicious. One type can benefit your blood sugar. I think it's the... what have you got? Cassia. Oh, let me see if I remember this now. There's the Chinese cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon. So Ceylon is not liver toxic, but Cassia is... What is it? One of them benefits your blood sugar, but is toxic in the doses that would do so, and the other one doesn't work. So basically, it's useless for lowering your blood sugar. People used to try to use it as a trick to trick their diabetes test if they ate like unhealthfully. If they ate too sugary before the test. Which one is it? I'm sure the Ceylon is the healthy one that's not liver toxic with like a teaspoon, but that doesn't work. Yeah, so it's the Chinese or cassia cinnamon that is actually liver toxic. If I think like above like a teaspoon in one go, something like that. It's on nutritionfacts.org if you want to look it up. Delicious though, very high in antioxidants. I usually add a little bit to porridges, to like fruit, like stuff like that. Chia puddings. Right, let me just see how far behind I am in the chat. Oh, it's not too far, is it? I don't think. Super chat. Stephen Winchester, you lovely, lovely man. That is super generous. £10 there on the super chats. It's got no question. Keep up the good work. Just supporting his local neighbourhood vegan YouTubers. You guessed it, out of the kindness of his heart. Can we give Stephen Winchester a round of applause, please, for being such an outstanding human being? I really appreciate you. Really, really do. Thank you, brother. There's some lovely people around. Right. And how have you been, Stephen? How have you been? What have you been up to, my friend? It's good to see you again. I agree, Scott Rogers. Jasper, what course did you take to become a nutritionist? I did an online course. It was a diploma course. It sucked. I didn't recommend it. Really self-taught, to be honest. I learnt more off my own back than was taught on this course. I don't think it's very good at all. Black-wired, Carla, how do you explain meat cravings? Every day in the morning I seem to crave eggs when I'm not feeling so good. I've got no idea. I've never come across it, to be honest. Maybe that you're craving calorically dense foods, perhaps. Stacey, I'm counting my fruit and veg intake again this week at 20 different ones so far. Not quite hench-worthy, but still happy with that. Aim for 30 for the week. Apparently 30 is a real good number to aim for, so good on you. Let us know how you do. Well said, man. It's like, I feel you. Plant-based powered, what's your favourite potato? Mine's Yukon Gold. Never tried them. They sound delicious. I guess that's an American thing. I don't know, really. I don't know that I really pay attention to the types of potatoes I'm eating. I'll tell you, the ones I have enjoyed the most are blue potatoes. They're actually purple, but they're available in the UK. And yeah, they're actually very delicious. And of course, they're full of those anthocyanins that are really healthy. Mitch the Mystery Man, US farming is atrocious. They say our soils will lose all nutrients by 2070. Bloody hell. Driven. Any thoughts regarding BCAA and its effectiveness for muscle recovery workout? You know, we do need like a certain dose of these things. Leucine, I think for most about 8 grams per day is like optimal in terms of muscle protein synthesis. After that, there's no further benefit, so it's not like you need tons of it. What's the other ones? Valine, isoleucine. I think if you're eating a healthy enough diet with adequate protein, most people like get adequate. It's not like a nutrient of concern. I do have like usually 1 or 2 scoops of Viva Life protein per day, and they do have added leucine. But I think my leucine is through the roof. It's like ridiculous, like much more than 8 grams. So, yeah, I don't think for most that it's an issue. The time I would worry is on a very low amount of calories. Then I would look at just checking levels and making sure that you've got optimal. Michael, do you use avocado seeds or cut grated? Apparently very nutritious. I thought there was something bad about avocado seeds, or was that? Oh no, sorry. I think that I might be thinking about peach kernels. I can't remember now. You might want to just do a little check on nutritionfacts.org for both of those, and just, well, not if you're not going to eat the peach thing, I suppose. But yeah, I might just run a check on nutritionfacts.org just to double check. You know, you got me interested now. I'm going to have a quick look. Something's ringing a bell, so avocado seeds, pit stones. I don't think there's anything on them. I may have been thinking about peach kernels. Can't remember. Sorry. Let me just do a quick Google. Are avocado seeds safe to eat? There's a slight amount of persin, a fungicide similar to fatty acid, only a small amount. Yeah, they don't seem to be dangerous except in very large amounts. So I was thinking about something else, quite obviously. Sorry. My stupid brain. It's because I don't eat enough, mate. Oh, you look fancy.
Hi.
Look at this little cutie.
Hello. Hi everyone. Hi.
Oh, I like your hat. Where did you get that from?
Oh, well, from our Teespring store, of course.
From our Teespring store?
Of course. Link below and all that jazz.
Cassie, I take 2,500 micrograms of B12 every Sunday morning. Nice. Good girl. Dan, what are your thoughts on hummus? Delicious. Don't buy store-bought ones with added oil though. Make your own. Use some tahini, a little water or vegetable stock to loosen. And not as good as whole chickpeas, because like you're grinding it up so fine. So again, you're going to absorb more into the bloodstream. There's not going to be so much like resistant starch, etc., to feed the gut microbiome. So ideally, you wouldn't eat it. You'd just stick to the whole chickpeas. But sue me, I like it and I eat it. Oh God. Jeff Carter, how do I mix strength training and hypertrophy training? However you want. I personally would do the strength part at the start of the workout and then tack on some hypertrophy after. But that's just me. I think that would yield the best results. Timmy Thistle, is it true cinnamon? Yeah, that's the Ceylon cinnamon, is known as true cinnamon. Priya's in the house. Good to see you, my lovely. Cassie, Ceylon is the good one. I got a massive bag of Ceylon cinnamon for $16 that will last me probably 20 years. Wow. Zarelli, things plants don't contain, ? Cholesterol, trans fats, sat fat, heme iron, new 5GC, IGF-1. Nitrosamines, heterocyclic amines, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, all the things that kill you. I think you were setting me up there for a good answer, for a good question. Jasper, so you're a nutritionist then? I don't work as a nutritionist anymore. I am a full-time camera ponce around in front of a So ready, can anyone address various pictures at the end of his videos? About things that plants don't contain. He says over 50 nutrients. If you look at the last one of my storage videos, I spoke of that right at the end. And animals don't contain over tens of thousands of plant nutrients. So you shot yourself in the foot there, didn't he? Jasper, why are your cookbooks always heavily discounted? Because I would rather have loads of £5 as opposed to a few £10. Makes sense. Unknown error. Why do you say these ex-vegans? What do you say to these ex-vegans that say being vegan almost killed them and they was dying? Also, they say long-term vegan isn't sustainable for long-term. I just say that if they had half a clue, that they would have been all right. It's not hard. It's not hard. Eat the range of whole plant foods, legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices. Take a B12 supplement. Take vitamin D in the winter months. It's the healthiest diet in the world. The thing is with eating vegan, the word vegan is a horrible way to describe a diet. It describes your ethics. It tells me what you don't eat, which is animals, which, yeah, that's a huge benefit. However, if you're just eating Oreos and, French fries and donuts, if you're drinking lemonade and beer, don't expect a good health outcome. Priya, Animal Justice Project has released video footage of terrible animal cruelty in slaughterhouses in the UK. Specifically, that was one slaughterhouse in Cheshire, wasn't it? I'm a, what do you call it, an ambassador with those guys. So I shared that on my stories, I think, fairly recently. Also today, guys, on my Instagram feed, I shared a petition So there's an animal welfare bill currently going through the House of Commons, and they're trying to get a bit added whereby you can't. It'd be illegal to boil decapods, things like lobsters, etc. It will be made illegal to boil them alive. Currently, only vertebrates enjoy that protection, and obviously, ideally, we want abolition, not welfareism, but these animals suffer for apparently up to 3 minutes getting boiled alive. So it'd be very good to get that added to that bill. So go over to my Instagram, swipe up on the relevant story. There's a petition. It takes a couple of seconds to sign the petition. So please go and do that if you care about animals. So really, are beef stock cubes okay? Not if you're a cow. Are human stock cubes okay? Michael, I've just had my Gemma fix for the day. So, Rally, how is it trolling to ask about stock cubes for cooking? Probably because it's a vegan channel. Gary Coxlocks here. Love you. Good to see you. Stephen Brogden. The video at Bannatyne's vegan menu debut was fun. Any more exploring videos planned? Yeah, we've been invited back. They did really well. They've got a lot of coverage and they're really busy. So to say thanks, they invited us back. We got an email today and they want us to have the first vegan spa day there with them. So that's very nice. They're lovely people. Good old Daryl, the GM, and Nick, the head chef. They're a lovely couple. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, it's a couple of videos back, but we really had a good time. Yeah, so Bannatyne's Health Spa, Spa Resort, fully vegan menu. I just thought that they were having a plant-based menu as well as the normal food. No, there's no non-vegan food in the whole place. How cool. Any more exploring videos planned? Other than that, just if we ever get invited anywhere and it's within reasonable travelling distance, we'll do it. We're going to camp out, obviously, so we'll do a bit of footage from there. Priya Musu. That's a cool little emoticon. Larry, is heating food up with the microwave on average a good idea? Yes, apparently so. Despite bro science nonsense to the contrary. Apparently, it helps some foods retain more nutrients than any other cooking method. Yeah, just to speak about stock cubes, most of them have hydrogenated oils, like palm oil, tons of salt. Some of them don't have any meat sort of byproducts in there. Some of them do. They vary from company to company. I don't see them as adding anything healthful, and just negatives. Not something I'd cook with. Jude, any tips for a vegan who hits the gym but can't seem to get rid of having skinny fat build? Yeah, make a plan. Either aim to build some muscle as fast as possible, so get into a slight caloric surplus, or aim to just lose fat for a time, so get into a caloric deficit. And do that for time until you get somewhere, until you build some appreciable muscle, until you lose like a good amount of fat. Or you can eat at maintenance calories, whereby your body weight is staying the same each week. But hopefully, you know, if you're doing a progressive overload system, like trying to lift a little heavier every week or two, in that way you can be building muscle and burning fat off at the same time. But you want your calories roughly at maintenance levels in order to do that. So once a week, after the loo, in the morning, after the loo, before you eat or drink anything, weigh yourself. That's called your true weight. And on a weekly basis, under the same protocol, reweigh. Be scientific about it. You know, if you're trying to maintain your weight and you accidentally go up half a pound, well, drop 250 calories from next week. Yeah, it's just make a plan and stick to it. Most people, you know, they just aimlessly, well, not aimlessly, but kind of mindlessly, with no plan, with no science, they just like play at things, and they don't really know how many calories they're eating. They don't know if they're getting enough protein. They do a bit of this. Maybe they do chest and biceps 5 days a week and do legs like once a month. Do you know what I mean? It's being scientific about it and sensible. Yeah, if you're doing a recomp, as I say, like, you know, on maintenance calories or in a caloric deficit, I would aim for more like 2 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day. If you're trying to do a gaining cycle where you're actually trying to put weight on for a bit to grow muscle, just eat enough calories that your muscle grows, but the fat doesn't like come on, and you can titrate again your calories week by week to ensure that. Just look at what your waist is doing as well. You only need about 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day. In a caloric surplus, you need less. Plant-based powder, does nicotine from cigarettes strip vitamins out of the body? I think it, yeah, there is something about that. I don't know. I think vitamin C gets used up particularly. Yeah, it's not good for you. Jasper, go lightly. I have a horrible feeling, Jasper, that you're one of these horrible trolls whose life is really like crap, and they have to put others down in order to make themselves feel good. So I'm really sorry that your life is shit, but you know, you don't bother me, son. You don't bother. I'll just beat you out in a second. Just beat you out and forget about you. And you know, you can be negative and miserable on your own without anyone to play with. You sad sack. Do you have loads of £5 though? I'll tell you what. This is what I do for a living. I don't know what you do. If it was any good, like, you wouldn't have time to like take the piss out of other people and be horrible. Whereas I've had 6+ million video views. I've spoken on the BBC World Service to 166 million. I've been in films, TV. I'm living a life of purpose. Every day people tell me that they've reversed disease, that they're so grateful for me to show that we don't need to hurt animals. And, you know, I'm sorry that you need to make veganism wrong, because the fact that I'm thriving means that you are an animal abuser with your food choices like 3 times a day. I'm sorry that that chaffs your ass, but I'll never stop. So get used to it or change. And other than that, go F yourself. Anyway, you're gone, son. You're gone. But thanks for being a bell end. Here lies the body of Jasper Golightly. He was a knob to people. What a legend. I bet his mum's proud. Ollie Webster, how soon could I expect to see health benefits from following a vegan diet? If you're eating a junk food vegan diet, possibly like you'll be waiting forever until you die, like an early death. And then if you're eating nothing but berries, you know, lentils, quinoa, kale, I would say pretty darn quick, most likely, like within a few days generally. Normally people feel like quite a quick period of feeling super well. oftentimes, depending on how poor your diet was historically, you may go through this like detox phase where toxins are coming out of your body so quickly and they're actually sort of affecting your system, and you can feel a bit naff for a few days actually. So you possibly, in a way, you don't want to do it too quick, like straight off the bat. What's this blinking camera doing? For me, yeah, there was more or less like immediate results. Things like energy, like sleep, mood, pain levels in the body. They were some of the first things I noticed. And then just week on week, month on month, year on year, just kept getting further, like more and more benefits. It's just super amazing. But really, it is whole foods, plant-based diet, or whole foods vegan diet, whichever way you want to say it, but the emphasis on whole foods and not processed junk. Spartan Outdoor, welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing, my friend. If you're in the chat, do introduce yourself. Where are you? How are you? How's the vegan scene? We like to welcome new people. Unknown error. I suffer with alopecia, so once I finally make the change for ethics nutrition, I'm hoping the health site might help me grow a few more hairs in place that it's falling out. Possibly, yeah, possibly. If that was a nutritional deficiency and you're eating a more nutritious diet, I can see that possibly being a thing. Like, good luck with it. I hope that it does. Seabright, hey Hench, any tips for a newbie trying to break the past salt and oil cravings? Nothing like, well, like a bag of crisps and some fresh fried chips. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I would say to avoid anything like that for 3 weeks, stick to completely whole plant foods, and then like you can add in like chips. You can bake in the oven or cook in an air fryer. I mean, it's not optimal, and this is without oil. It's not optimal in terms of health because you're creating acrylamides, which may potentially not be great. However, it's a fraction of the acrylamides that you would have made from deep frying. And they taste just as good to me. I actually prefer them now. I wouldn't want to eat fried chips, but baked chips or air fried chips, delicious. But yeah, salt's not great for the old health. Yeah, an air fryer. You might try an air fryer. Kale chips, believe it or not. Sounds gross, but kale chips. You just put kale in the air fryer. You put a little bit of salt on. Obviously, it's not optimal, but you can do that. You can use like a little nut butter and nutritional yeast, possibly garlic powder and or onion powder, and you can make like a cheese or cheese and onion like crisp. Really tasty, really tasty. A lot healthier than deep fried chips, but not optimal because, as I say, you are creating some acrylamides. Cassie, a spa day sounds wonderful, doesn't it, Jess? Yeah, we both said that we wanted to go back for a spa day, so yeah, we were very grateful when we got invited. I've not heard of Mushi's Unknown Error. Tell me about that place. Priya, is there a vegan camp out this year? Why? Yeah, there sure is. It's in 38 days. I think there are still tickets available, not many. We're going to be there. Follow us on Facebook, Hench Herbivore Community, and we're going to post in there one or both of the days. We're going to arrange meetups so we can all hang out, get a group photo, and all meet each other and hang out for a bit. I think that will be very cool. Unknown Error. Watched Game Changers yesterday and was amazed to see Arnie is now vegan while on a plant-based diet. What a great film that was. Unfortunately, I mean, he's eating a higher percentage of plant foods, but he does eat eggs and stuff. He's not completely plant-based. but he's gone a long way towards it, which is good. Plant-based power. Do you follow John McDougall's The Starch Diet? Not really. I mean, I do eat a lot of starch. I probably eat more fruit and like nuts and seeds than he'd really recommend. But I'd say I eat more calories from starch than anything else. Thanks, guys. People are very silly, aren't they? Priya, my tummy started feeling better lately after I started taking daily probiotic supplement. Interesting. Had some issues last month. Could be stress. Yeah, strength is a bugger for gut sort of health. And I think the mechanism's the other way around to what we used to think. I was listening to a podcast. What is the deal? We used to think that stress caused the gut issues, but we now think that it might be the other way around more often. I think I was listening to that on a podcast called the Huberman Lab. It's a very good podcast. Brendan Chong is eating wild rice, lentil, pinto burgers. Delish. Right now, delish. Great. Now you've made me hungry. Good on you, William Hodge, and welcome to the stream. Priya, Hench, what do you think of vitamin K2? Can you get it in whole plant foods? Yeah, it's in natto, which is fermented soybeans. However, that is very gross. I've never tried it, but it looks horrible, and apparently it stinks. You don't need K2 directly, you just need K1, and then lovely gut microbes that live in various of our organs turn it into vitamin K2 for us. When I've ever written a plan for anyone as a nutritionist, I like several X the amount of vitamin K they needed without trying. As long as you're eating a healthy diet, you'll smash that. If, however, you did want to add in a K2 supplement, my best recommendation would be to go for Vivo Life's vitamin D3 K2 complex, because they kind of work in synergy. Link below for 10% off. Oh, it's going above my head now. Savings on Vivo Life protein, Vits, etc. Code Hench10. There's links underneath the stream here. Keep calm. Hi Hench, what do you think destroys / retains most nutrients? Cooking for a long time on a lower temperature or cooking for a short time on a higher temperature? I think mostly nutrients get displaced rather than destroyed. So if you're making a soup, for instance, it's kind of an irrelevance. I think more like enzymes and things get destroyed by cooking. Yeah, I don't really know which would be better. Shorter time on a higher temperature. I would say a longer time on a lower temperature, most likely, would be my guess. But it might vary by nutrient as far as I know. I've not really seen any science on it. I'm just postulating. Nicholas, good to hear you want to come back. Oh, it's Nick the chef. Can we give Nicholas Hazelton a round of applause, please? Do you mind me sharing the story? I hope you don't, because I'm going to anyway. I think I got this right. I didn't quite hear him properly. But so, yeah, Nick is the head chef at the Bannatyne's Spa Resort in Bury St Edmunds, where me and Gemma went the other day. And supposedly, I think this is what his boss was saying to me, Daryl, the general manager. He said, like, whenever he asked him to cook like a bacon sandwich or something, he would also like serve it up, but there'd be a phone there, like showing slaughterhouse footage. Is that right, Nick? Did I hear him right? And was it off the back of that Daryl went vegan, and now the whole kitchen is vegan, all except for the pastry chef who needs to kick up the bum? I'm going to have a word with them when I come back for my spa day, Nick. Warn him. Bannatyne's Health Spa Resort restaurant, fully vegan. Can you believe it? That is so crazy. Nicholas, I've been chatting to my friend at Plant-Based News today, and he's given me the contacts for the editorial team, so I'm going to speak to them. And I think I'd be shocked if Plant-Based News didn't do an article. They will run an article, I know they will, and that should really help. So Yeah, exciting times. I want to see you guys really flourish and then be like a flagship, and then, you know, hopefully other Bannatynes will see the money and whatever and follow suit. Very good, Nick. You are a legend. Blood-based powered. McDougall says we've got less than 10 years left before global warming becomes unlivable. Well, that'll bloody suck, won't it? We need everyone to go vegan yesterday. Where the blinking hell was I? Seabright, hell yeah, I can do 3 weeks. Thanks for the advice, mate. Let's give Seabright a round of applause. Good on ya. Alid, I'll just look for questions, but yeah, that is pretty mad. Angel, Paul, my boyfriend's teacher in university told him fish do not breathe. What are your thoughts? Well, they certainly push water through their gills to extract like the oxygen, don't they? So, I mean, I don't know if that's called something different in fish, but they certainly need to get oxygen in their systems. So, I don't know. Yeah, so to pull them out of the water, do you know what I mean? When I used to see a fish on the deck, you know, being pulled out of the water and flapping around, I just used to think, oh, that looks mad. Now I see, oh, bloody hell, that animal's fighting for its life. It's in agony. It's like writhing around. Like, how dare you? And it's just like if I went next to an angler with like a puppy, sat next to the angler, like, you right, mate? And then shoved the puppy under the water, he'd go mental, wouldn't he? But yet he's doing the same thing in reverse to fishers who need to I was going to say breathe in water. I don't know if that's the right phrase or not now. But yeah, what a mad world. Mental. Mergem in the house. Hi to you. Thanks for joining, Nicholas. Hey, oh, that's the chef guy again. Yeah, all true. Wow. I keep thinking that you're, because I just knew you as Nick. So when I see Nicholas, it takes me a minute. All true. That's brave, man. To do that to the GM, you must have had a good friendship before. Either that or you're crazy. But either way, I love you, man. That's the funniest thing. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. Very, very brave and very cool. Amberlyn, my husband doesn't support me going vegan. How can I continue with him not supporting me and saying it's pointless? Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. I've seen it cause many a relationship strain. A lot of people work through it and get there. Oftentimes, and it's normally the lady that's gone vegan and the husband has the problem with it. But I've seen over time, I've seen a lot of husbands come round. So, yeah, I think you've got to do you. And if you think it's worth hanging on and fighting for, you know, and trying to, like, I don't know, some mediation is probably good. I think that, I mean, I don't know if it's the right time for a counsellor, like a relationship counsellor. But like, if like your loved one is telling you that what you're doing is pointless and they're not supporting you, regardless of what the issue is, like, it feels to me, and I might be wrong, I don't know your relationship, so, you know, please don't read too much into this, but it feels to me like something's not right there, and like that's not how we should be with loved ones. Like, we should be support, even if we have a difference of opinion on it. If it's important, do you know what I mean? You think we would be kind enough to just be supportive? You know, it may be that he feels bad, and like if you're vegan and he's not, and then it's like a mirror to him. That, you know, oftentimes that's the issue. Yeah, it's really. I hope you can talk that through. Maybe we're like me and Gemma used a counsellor a few times, so we were together for a while. Then we split up for a few years, and then I wanted to get back with her, and she wasn't really having it, and but she agreed to come to a counsellor, and within 3 sessions we like talked it all through, and we've been amazing like ever since. Like, we don't really have a crossed word, and we've been back together for like, I don't know, 12 or 13 years, something now. I can't speak highly enough of relationships counsellors and, you know, other counsellors. If you've got to find the right one, you know, you've got to find the one that resonates. I hope that helps, and I hope you work through it okay. Nicholas, the ice cream was actually tofu. No way. Oh, I didn't know. And there was me bad-mouthing it. How did you sweeten it, Nicholas? How did you sweeten it? Wow. Good man. Timo, I just got done watching Interstellar. What a movie. I'm sure I've seen that. I can't remember it now. I think that was a long while ago. I seem to remember it being a good show. What was that? I watched a series. I think it was called Last Man on Earth. Have you guys seen that? That was particularly good. Have you guys got any recommendations? Because we've run out of shows, me and Gemma. So any box sets or films? Oh, we watched a funny old film called The Tomorrow War. Have you guys seen that? That was weird. Bit hard in places where people were just getting teleported and then to like a huge drop and then to their doom. Yep. Priya, Amberlin, introduce him to tasty, healthy vegan meals. João Miguel, am I pronouncing that right? What is the vegan bodybuilding equivalent to chicken and rice? Tofu in rice, probably. Plant-based powered. When bacteria in the gut turn fibre into short-chain fatty acids, is that essentially waste products from the bacteria? Yeah, it is. But they just do wonders in our bodies. We need the most short-chain fatty acids possible, despite the fact that they're a saturated fat. Hilda is in the house from Portugal. Hola. Welcome, Hilda. The wood smoke is hanging with their bunny. Very nice. Manos, by the way, today I made vegan food for my non-vegan brother and he really enjoyed it. It wasn't the healthiest, but still no animals were hurt. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. Good for you, my friend. Carnus Police, a good movie to watch would be Ghost Rider. Yeah, I know it well. I do love that film. My mum, when I was a little boy, my mum got me a little book of posters, and like Ghost Rider was in there. Gave me nightmares. Yeah, what? Your soul is tainted by the blood of the innocent. Feel their pain. Wouldn't that be good if you could do that to carnists and make them feel the pain of farmed animals? That would turn people vegan on the spot. Speaking of that, just before I forget, do go over to my Instagram, please. And in my stories, I shared a link. I said this earlier in the stream, but just in case any of you missed it, there's a link to a new petition. There's a new bill currently going through the House of Commons, like animal welfare, and we want to get an amendment saying that it is illegal to boil decapods like lobsters alive, because they really do suffer for ages. Of course, we want abolition, but I think this is one time where a bit of welfareism is like a good positive step forward. So please go to my Instagram, go to stories. You'll hear me starting to chat about the bill, and on the third of those stories, swipe up, and there's a petition. You just like tick a box, basically. Takes 2 seconds. There's other things you can do, like write in your MP and this, that, and the other. All the options are on there. But if you can just sign the petition, they need 75,000 signatures, and they're over 2/3 of the way there. So, yeah, please don't forget to do that. That's an important one. Noah. Oh, that's gone too far. Noah Stone, just wanted to say thanks for all that you do and keep it up. Well, aren't you a kind soul? Thank you, my friend. Amberlin, I've tried making him food and he won't even eat it. He is carnivore and says I I will get sick being vegan. He said, it's sad to see his true colours come out. Yeah, that really sucks, son. I mean, you know, that carnivore thing, that is some proper bro science. Like, it's totally against everything that all the top nutrition authorities in the world say. Sadly, there's a couple of like so-called doctors. Like one's what is he? Old Saladino. He's like a psychiatrist or whatever. Like, they've just looked at some science and cherry-picked and twisted, and they reckon that it's healthy to eat nothing but dead bodies, which have fat, trans fats, and cholesterol. That are the three things that raise serum LDL, which is the only critical risk factor for the biggest killer of humans in the world. They don't want you to eat nothing but that. Are they mad? Why, yes, they are. But sadly, they speak with such certitude. You know, they can back up their nonsense with a load of other nonsense, and they just sound clever, and most people just don't know better, and, you know, they're doctors and whatever, so of course people will listen to them. We're primates. We're anthropoid primates. Anthropoid means human-like. You know, all the anthropoid primates, you know, they're herbivores. Like, yeah, they might eat a bit of like incidental, like insects or whatever. Like sometimes chimps will hunt and attack like other chimps. The most common thing that's not plant foods for a chimp to eat is another chimp's baby to like send a message, and even then they pack themselves with leaves because they know it's really horrible for their like intestines and whatever. But no, physiologically, anatomically, biochemically, just in every way you can think of, psychologically, you know, we're herbivores. If you can do this, if you've not got fangs, do you know what I mean? If you're masseters, see this big movement here? See this tiny movement? So there's a masseter. Pterygoids are on the inside. They're massive. My temporalis is tiny. If I was to try and take a bite out of a moving animal, it would rip my jaw off, because this big muscle should be here to pull my jaw up into the skull. If I'm a predator, I'm not a predator. And anyone who thinks they are a carnivore is a complete bellend. I've done a video, 51 reasons why carnivore dieters are thick AF. There's 51 reasons there, mostly anatomically, how we are not carnivores in any way, shape or form. But people fall for it. I'd like to say it's really stupid, but it's more sad than stupid. It's a real shame. People are going to die for it. And they're destroying the planet. They're destroying beautiful animals who have the same emotions we do. They seek joy, you know, and love. They run from violence. They scream under the knife just like us, you know. But, you know, they're screaming, but we're not listening. Well, we are, like other people are not. Imagine if farmed animals could talk. Imagine farmed animals somehow learned to speak. Humanity would just be in shock and just shattered, just disgusted with ourselves, just constantly crying and just feeling ashamed and guilty. And when they are talking, they are communicating, they're screaming for their lives. Right, it's blinking 8:30. I should probably go and do some other things. It's gone really quick. It's gone really quick tonight. Yeah, I better go and do some things. Thanks, moderators, for keeping us troll-free. Thanks, JB, on the 11th hour. Kindly donated £4.99 on the super chats. No question, just supporting their local neighbourhood vegan YouTuber out of the kindness of their heart. And you are highly, highly, highly appreciated, my friend. Do follow me on the gram, hench_herbivore, or Gemma as well, Gemma_herbivore. Daily, like multiple posts, like stories, you can see what we're getting up to. Follow our new Facebook group, Hench Herbivore Community. You can hang out in there. and have a nice chat and all that stuff. What day is it? What day is it? It's thank you, the Wood Smoky. Tuesday. So yeah, I'm back on tomorrow morning about 8 a.m. 8, maybe 9 a.m. I'll be back on. Hopefully about 8. So come and hang out with me then if you can. If you can only do evenings, maybe I'll do Thursday evening, or maybe I'll do tomorrow evening. I'm gonna try, if I can, most days. I will at least do AM. I'm gonna try and do PM as well. So keep an eye out. It'll be about 6. But if not, me and Gemma will definitely be on Friday, 6 p.m. And thanks for everything. If you're looking for recipes, both our cookbooks are currently half price. Where do you get your protein? Virtuous vegan desserts, healthy, nutritious, supports your work in the gym, etc. All good stuff and a cracking read. Lovely photos throughout. Heavily illustrated. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Thanks for hanging out. I love you very much. You're all my friends, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks, and see you soon. Bye for now.